Hi there, I'm Alchemist.
And I'm Dredgewolf.
And welcome to
WoW Classic. Finally, you are of age. Of age to battle in the name of the Horde, to conquer for the glory of the War Chief. Yes. Caltunk looks you over. You will do nicely.
Wow, you're of age and Caltunk looks you over. I don't know.
No doubt you wish to find a great dragon or demon and strangle it with your bare hands, but perhaps it would be wise to start on something less dangerous. Report to Gornak. He should be able to assign a task better suited to a young hunter. You'll find him in the den to the west.
Go forth to victory.
Fourth? I don't see you. I mean, there'd have to be 3 people in front of you for you to go fourth. You're gonna go fifth.
That's a pretty terrible pun.
It is. It's horrible. But it is WoW Classic. And that's a classic.
I guess that is a classic pun.
Strength and honor.
Another one of Caltunk's recruits. A sorry state of affairs we find ourselves in if this is the best the Horde can produce. No matter, by the time we think you're ready to leave the valley, you'll be a proud warrior of the Horde. What? The first order of business will be to put a little strength in your backbone. I could send you out to the Barrens to hunt Kodo, but, well, in all honesty, you're more useful to us alive than dead. I believe you'll find a good match with the mottled boars you'll find to the north of here.
What accent is that?
Strength.
I don't know.
It makes 2 of us.
It's a orcish accent.
Oh, really? Orcs are prissy? British? Oh, indubitably.
Depending upon the setting, yes.
Oh my, that porcine beast there is humongous and filthy.
Well, these boars aren't really that big.
Oh, Mummy, I'm stuck in your dirty pillows.
God. Well, yeah. I didn't really get to experience much of WoW Classic. I started back in 2006 or something like that, around a couple of weeks before the Burning Crusade launched, which was the first major expansion for World of Warcraft.
And so how did that alter the landscape, so to speak?
It introduced 2 new races, one for Alliance and one for Horde. Opened up some classes that weren't available to each faction, and changed up the talents.
Okay.
The way you customize your character.
Were the mechanics pretty much the same?
For most of leveling, yeah. It wasn't until you got into, you know, the 10 new levels that came with the game that things really started to change.
Okay.
You know, missing out on WoW Classic basically meant I missed out on most of the end game and had a few more customization options to play around with. I first got into WoW when I went over to a friend's house, who will remain unnamed for reasons of privacy, and I saw that he was playing this game where he was fighting alongside this really cool creature that he had tamed and was fighting werewolves in this awesome forest, and I thought, wow, this seems like a lot of fun, you know. My first MMORPG was Ultimate Online, which was nothing like this. This had so much more actual content to play with, you know. In Ultima Online, it was mostly just monster grinding, but here you had like actual quests and objectives and stuff you could play around with. So I was like, man, this is a blast. This is awesome. I have to say, you know, I'm still having a lot of fun with WoW Classic even now. Just, you know, it's a very slow-paced RPG, as you can probably tell, and you know, it's nice to just kind of relax. Maybe put on some music, listen to a podcast, and, you know, do some casual questing. It's, you know.
So you're saying that has the less frenetically paced games still have a place?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for just some, you know, fairly slow-paced, casual fun, I mean, WoW Classic is a really good way to go. It's a solid RPG.
Now, I know, it wasn't the first. I mean, you had EverQuest and Ultima Online as these persistent world games.
MMORPGs.
Yeah. Well, but what I mean is, a world where, or a game where you couldn't just, like, if you're playing Doom or Quake, unless you are actually playing against other players. But if you're playing a campaign or whatever, you can just hit the pause key, right?
Yeah, you could not pause this game.
Right.
Which was a hard lesson for you guys. I remember.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It is nothing but infuriating to try and deal with someone who's wants to do this sort of thing all the time, and there's stuff that needs to be done. Very frustrating as a parent.
Yeah. Yeah. Teenagers are probably not the easiest thing to deal with, and one that's addicted to a game that can suck the ever-living soul out of you.
Yeah, wasn't an easy time.
Yeah. Well, we got our boars killed. Time to go talk to, whatever the heck his name was, Gortunk?
Yeah, I don't know. They all sound like people clearing their throat to me.
Yeah. Gornek.
What do you need?
Not bad, but don't let it get to your head. You'll fight tougher than boars in your career. Nonetheless, you have proven yourself well, and your next trial will be against a considerably more dangerous opponent, so you'll need some extra protection.
Uh-oh. I don't know. That sounds appropriate for a kid's game.
This is rated T for teen, so not really a kid's game.
Oh. I'm just talking about prophylactics. Not out of the pale.
Yeah. While you were gone, a parchment came for you. Read it when you have time. If I'm not mistaken, it came from the hunter trainer Jen Shan. She would have words with you when you're ready. And let's see.
Blood and
Powerful
thunder.
warrior and awkward novice alike have fallen to the venomous sting of the scorpid. You will find large numbers of scorpids northwest of here. Bring me 10 of their tails as proof of your prowess in battle. The antidote for their sting is actually made from venom extracted from their stingers. We keep large quantities of antidote for scorpid venom on hand to heal youngbloods just like you. I'm sure you won't be needing of any of that, will you? Yeah.
So they just contact you and you say,
Down.
hey, we think you're a weenie. You want to prove you're not? Do this dangerous stuff. And you're supposed to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. Well, who's...
Look, Tom.
I guess all that talk about not bending to peer pressure just goes out the window.
I trust the Valley of Trials will teach you much, young hunter. I was sent to the valley to guide you, but I have discovered a growing taint here. A group that calls itself the Burning Blade has a coven here in the Valley of Trials. They are skulking in a cave to the northeast. Their vile familiars have spilled from its mouth to cause havoc. As your first task against the Burning Blade, slay many of these familiars, and if you survive, return to me.
Taint.
Go on.
Oh my god. Who's the kid here?
Taint. The terrible Beavis and Butthead.
Don't be
Yeah.
shy.
Conversation, horrible.
So you come at last. Good, Jen Shan be waiting for you. Many think it be an easy path, but Jen Shan tell you that not true. Mastering the beasts of Duratar and beyond takes as much skill as mastering the arcane arts or speaking to our ancestors. Firing a bow or rifle may not be as dangerous to you as casting a spell, but sure be as dangerous to your enemy. Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't matter how you die. You're dead, you're dead.
Yeah.
You can't be more dead or less dead.
Yeah. Bullet to the head will end you just as quickly as a fireball in the face.
Yep.
Well, actually, a bullet to the head will probably kill you quicker.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no lingering pain from the burns.
Yeah.
You be careful, man. Talk to me.
Let's see if I can get anything. Oh, I can learn how to track beasts. Oh, no, I can't. I'm poor.
Bye-bye now.
Yeah, that's a common thing you'll find in WoW. You'll have all these cool abilities, but you'll be broke as all hell, so you can't get them just yet. Yeah.
Ogra.
Yeah, there was this constant bit of... I remember talking to you and you're like just doing the same thing over and over and over again to try and get gold or something. And it was beyond me a bit why anybody played the game because it seems so repetitive.
Dabu.
But on the other hand, I mean 2004 internet-based game, the graphics are amazing for that time period.
What do you
Oh
need?
yeah, I mean, I still like the way the art style and graphics look, even now. Right, it sure gets hot out here in the Valley of Trials. If only I had some cactus apples, I could make my famous cactus apple surprise. Nothing cools you off faster than a piece of that delicious treat. I'll tell you what, If you bring me 10 cactus apples, I'll make you a few portions of cactus apple surprise to take with you on your adventures. If you're interested, you can find cactus apples growing around on the cactuses around here.
Cactus apple, huh?
Yeah. Would something sweet really cool you down? I mean, something that's just generally sweet, not necessarily cold.
No, I would think so. I think it
Stay
needs to
away
be,
from the
like
voodoo.
watermelon's refreshing, you know, because it's watery.
Yeah,
I think if
that's kind of in the name.
yeah, and Melanie.
But, well, watermelon's only really refreshing when it's cold, at least in my opinion.
I think it's still refreshing even when it isn't cold because it has so much water in it and other vital nutrients. It's actually a great way to hydrate because it has so much stuff in it other than just water. Lots of good stuff. It's actually a great food.
It also thin out your stool.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're a cheese hound like someone I know, you definitely could use a little watermelon chaser.
Yeah. Yeah, just... This is a very slow-paced, very kind of, you know, peaceful, well-thought-out RPG, in my opinion. You know, it's pretty nice to just kind of hang back, listen to a podcast while you're running around doing quests or anything else that crosses your mind.
Slaughtering boars.
Yeah, slaughtering boars. Well, we're moving on from boars to scorpions.
The scorpions.
Yeah, well, we're gathering cactus apples right now.
Cactus apples. That killed me. Why does everybody look like the Hulk?
Because we're all orcs.
Ah.
Well, we're not all orcs. This is the orc and troll starting area.
Gotcha.
Yeah, orcs and trolls have to share one. It kind of sucks.
I bet that's difficult for both species.
Yeah.
They don't seem like the, hey, let's just all share. There's plenty for everybody. Kind.
Well, I mean, orcs and trolls do share a shamanistic culture. Well, they believe in, like, shamanism, but they each have their own cultural variants, of course.
Sure.
You know.
So, you know, you think about 2004, you know, the graphics are pretty outstanding for an internet-based game, right? I mean, you can get better graphics in console games.
Or
but-
single-player PCs.
Yeah, exactly. But over the internet, you know, most people in 2004 didn't have DSL.
Yeah.
We were still have loads of people on dial-up in 2004, which is kind of amazing now to think about it, because only people way out in the sticks, I mean way out, would even be on dial-up now.
Yeah. I don't even remember how dial-up worked. It involved, like, the phone lines or something, right?
Yeah. Your computer would have a modem connected to it, and you would dial up your service provider through the phone line.
Yeah, and people would be like, don't call anybody, I'm using the internet, or something like that, right?
Exactly. You could get disconnected if someone made a call.
Yeah.
That's when the phone companies were probably pretty happy because they were selling second lines like crazy. People were having second lines installed just to serve their modem needs. And then eventually, probably at least 10 years later, DSL was being rolled out to lots and lots of people.
And now now Google's trying to put out this light speed internet thing they did, or at least been trying to for a while now.
Huh. Okay. Well, I suppose it was more than just graphics that made WoW take off the way it did, and it did take. I mean, it exploded.
It's too far.
It's probably one of the single greatest success stories in computer gaming history.
Yeah. A big part of its initial success was the fact that it had so many quests available.
well, think about 2004.
Yeah, most games at that time, or at least online games, had you mostly slaughtering monsters to get your levels. Hunter, I thought I would die out here with none to know of it. While I was hunting the scorpions of the valley, I came across a particularly vicious-looking one. Hurling myself at it, I managed to inflict a massive blow to its claw before it closed around my leg. I wasn't ready for its stinger, though, and it sliced down into my chest, cutting into my flesh and letting my blood. Please, you must kill the scorpion for me. My honor must be upheld. I fought it up on the plateau to the south.
Oops. That's gonna leave a mark.
Yeah.
Laying a pile of his own green goo.
Well, we're gonna finish up getting our scorpion tails first. I have priorities, thank you. You can go die over there while I get my stuff done.
Don't leave a stain.
Yeah.
Looks like someone else is over here to your right, slaughtering critters too.
Yep. Judging by his gear, I'm guessing he's a shaman. Might be a mage. No, he's wielding a hammer. That's probably a shaman.
So, 2004, we got about 3 years after the 9/11.
Yeah.
War on Terror is in full swing. Still fighting in Iraq, even though the war is supposed to be officially over. I believe by then it was, but they're still fighting. Still major battles around Fallujah. People are generally terrified. You know, we got terror attacks. Not only are they, fighting terror in various countries in the
Middle East,
and Africa and the Near East, Pakistan and Afghanistan, but the economy is looking. There's questions about the economy. Although in 2004, the real estate boom was still going strong. Towards the end of it, it really bombed around 2006. But I think also, wasn't that around the time of the dot-com, the dot-bomb, the dot-com busts?
I've heard of that, but I have no idea what that is.
Well, a whole bunch of internet companies sprouted up that offered services and things like that, virtual this and virtual that didn't really do much of anything or own anything. It was all virtual. And they would, someone would come up with an idea, start up a company on a modest amount of money, but not really own anything. And then they'd do a public offering and the thing would grow like crazy, right? And the stock price would skyrocket. And then all of a sudden everyone realized the emperor had no clothes. That the company didn't really do anything or have any intrinsic value beyond the hype it had created about itself and what its alleged products could do. And so the stock market tanked hard and a whole bunch of dot-com companies went out of business.
Wow.
So that was tough. And then, of course, a bit after that, 2006 or so, the bottom dropped out of the real estate market.
It was just one punch after another, huh?
Yeah. Economically, it was an incredibly hard time. So I would think that...
Which makes WoW's success even more amazing.
Yes and no. I think people really needed some escapism because, frankly, reality was looking pretty crappy around that time.
Yeah, but the fact that people could afford to pay on a month-by-month basis for something like this is...
Yeah, when you look at the entertainment value, though, I mean, how much it costs to go to a movie, how much it costs to go eat out, the dollar per entertainment hour value is actually really high, depending on how entertaining you find the game. So, for some reason, human beings are just... We have a susceptibility to gaming. It has an addictive quality that entices people to just spend really staggering amounts of time on it.
Yeah, it's pretty engaging.
And you have the whole, like a...
social aspect of it as well. being able to hang out with people and form these social connections.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things that drove WoW as well, because unlike single person game, first person shooters, which had been so popular up to then, Doom and Quake and whatnot, all of a sudden those games did have some social things. You could get together and do capture the flag or whatever. I think it was greater with WoW.
Well, yeah, because it's constantly online PvE content, right? Like, there's no split screen you have to deal with. It's just, you get on your computer and you go on with your friends. And you can play with each other instead of necessarily being against one another.
Yeah, the cooperative aspect of it was pretty huge.
Yeah.
And again, Quake and whatnot did well because they also had those qualities. But I think the content was... For some reason, WoW players were willing to tolerate a degree of repetition that players in other games simply wouldn't have accepted. What do you think? Is that the case?
I don't necessarily know about that. I mean, it doesn't feel very repetitive when you're playing it.
Sure, but you're off killing boars in the forest. A lot of the quests said you have to do this thing 15 times, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you're killing a different thing 15 times, right? We were killing boars, now we're killing scorpions.
Sure, but what I'm saying is you have to do it 15 times. It is, there's inherent repetitiveness to it that somehow the way the game works, people found acceptable, whereas I think in other game formats, it wouldn't have been accepted.
Well, I think part of it is just the way the repetition is presented. You enter into a PvP match in Quake or Doom, you're killing the same 5 or 6 guys over and over again for like 10 minutes. But it's not presented in that fashion. It's presented as a competitive match. In this case, you're killing 15 bugs, but it's presented in the context of, growing as a character, or in this case, we need to go off and slay this one particular big bug because it's a nuisance. The way you present there's repetition in pretty much all forms of entertainment. It's how you present it that matters.
Right, well, that's kind of like my point. There's a fairly high level of repetition. We lost the volume of the game. We lost the game sound.
Weird.
Huh. Freak show. Yeah, it was fine just a few minutes ago.
Yeah. Crossplay, I think, is what I'm using, or XSplit I'm using to record this on, is kind of shaky. It's hard to find a good recording setup that's not like rip your teeth out expensive.
So, because you're not using the PS4, you're not using the Elgato.
Yeah.
Which actually seems to work pretty well most of the time.
Yeah, I've tried to get my Elgato to work on the computer, but it just wouldn't work. Ha! I got the tag. I don't have to sit and wait.
Congrats.
And they're pretty pissed, too. That guy did a spit emote. That guy's complaining.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can see in the chat down here.
Oh, all right. Oh, making friends. See, the social aspect. It's so sweet.
Yeah. My father always said I would never amount to much, and here, lying beneath a tree as my life seeps away, I'm afraid it looks like he was right. At least I wish to die knowing that my last enemy in life lays dead. Yeah, father saying I never amount to much. Can't relate to that.
I've never said that. Holy smokes.
My blow was not enough to kill him, but looking at the damage I inflicted gives me some small measure of pride. That small measure will be all I have to sustain myself. If I die, and in that light, the short list of my life's accomplishments makes me angry. Seeing the deed you have done for me steals my heart. I cannot fall so easily. I must endure. But it remains I cannot make the trek back to the den. Please, return to the den and tell Gornick of my situation. Have him send help.
What a whiner.
Yeah.
Talk about melodrama.
Yeah.
Every time that guy stubs his toes, we get a soliloquy.
All right.
So are you going back to tell Garnick about Crybaby?
No, I think I'm gonna head on over and deal with these familiars.
So you're just gonna let him die?
Well, the quest isn't timed. I can complete it whenever the heck I want. So,
Oh, okay. All right.
so yeah, I'm gonna make sure I have everything I need done out here, and then I'm gonna walk all the way back.
Yeah, that's another thing about this game, the travel. And I think that was actually kind of a source of frustration for some people for a while because as the game grew, the distances got greater and greater, and people were spending a lot of time traveling.
Yeah, and getting mounts, which can increase your movement speed, was pretty expensive. Not a lot of people were able to afford mounts until max level, even though they were technically available at level 40, which was 20 levels below max.
So, now WoW is still around,
Oh yeah,
clearly.
yeah,
And it also, not only is it still around, it still seems to be largely a success.
yeah. It's fairly successful, although WoW Classic currently has more players than the current expansion had at its peak.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wonder if that, I mean, the nostalgia will wear off probably fairly quickly. I wonder how long they'll keep those numbers.
Yeah. At the same time, though, WoW is a much slower paced game. It may be able to hold people for quite a while.
Yeah, slowing the pace allows you more time to develop content.
Yeah.
You don't have to put it out as fast. But I'm just trying to think of there aren't too many games that have held on for so long, for so many years, through so many upgrades, and, updated versions of it. I mean, some of the other massive online games are still around.
That guy's pissed I got the tag.
Still?
No, this is a different guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he did the little shoe emote. Yeah, it's pretty competitive right now. Not a lot of monsters and a whole lot of people fighting for them.
Where are the monsters when you need them?
Yeah.
Now, who did you play out? Were you playing? You weren't playing as Dredgewolf back then, were you?
No. Let's see. I think at this point in time I was actually playing on the Alliance side as a night elf hunter called Karai or Tenarai, something like that. I eventually got bored playing on Alliance and moved over to Horde, and I've pretty much never looked back.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What are the differences? Other than obviously they're different teams, but how is Horde more entertaining?
Oh well, part of it is the community. The community on Horde is much more exuberant in my experience. In my experience, the Alliance tend to be fairly quiet, fairly calm, never talking a whole lot. But here on the Horde, it's like Loktar frickin' Ogar all the time, both in the community and in the quests. And the quests are really all about amping you up and being like, yeah, you're my, go kill this thing because it's awesome, blah, 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 blah. It's just more fun for me. I like that higher energy level. Anyway, we've got about a minute left. I think it's time to say goodbye for now. We're not going to do a full WoW Classic Let's Play. Probably just, 4 or 5 episodes. After that, we'll be switching over to Destiny 2's Shadowkeep expansion. I'll probably still keep playing it, but I kind of found that making a Let's Play kind of drained away a lot of the fun I was having with Classic. Classic is much more fun when you just kind of relax and just kind of let the game wash over you. If you're constantly paying attention, hitting the play button and whatever, it kind of saps away a lot of the enjoyment, at least for me.
So instead of maybe listening to music, or in addition to listening to music, this is just something to occupy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's enough for this episode.
Yep. Thank you all for joining us. I'm Dredgewolf.
And I'm Alchemist.
And we hope you have an awesome day. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.
Adios.